In the shadowy world where intelligence meets innovation, few organizations are as quietly influential as In-Q-Tel, a firm born not in secrecy alone, but in necessity. The story begins in the late 1990s when the Central Intelligence Agency faced a growing crisis. Technology was advancing at a pace the government simply couldn't match. Silicon Valley was innovating in real time, while intelligence agencies were stuck navigating slow, bureaucratic acquisition systems. The gap was widening, and for an agency built on staying ahead, that gap was dangerous. So, in 1999, under the direction of then CIA Director George Tenet, and with key figures like Gilman, Louie, and Norman Augustine, a new kind of entity was created. It wasn't a government agency, at least not officially. It was structured as an independent, nonprofit venture capital firm designed to move quickly, invest strategically, and tap directly into the private sector's most advanced technologies. At its birth, however, it carried a very different name: Peleus. The meaning of Peleus. The name Peleus reaches deep into ancient Greek mythology. Peleus was a mortal king, best known as the father of Achilles, the greatest warrior of the Trojan War. But his story is far more complex. Peleus was a figure who existed at the intersection of the human and the divine. He married the sea nymph Thetis, a union arranged by the gods themselves. Their wedding was no ordinary event. It was attended by the Olympian gods and ultimately sparked the chain of events leading to the Trojan War. According to myth, the goddess Eris, angered at not being invited, cast the infamous golden apple labeled "to the fairest," igniting a rivalry among the goddesses that would culminate in war. Peleus himself was also known for his cunning and resilience. In one famous tale, he was instructed to capture Thetis, who could shapeshift into fire, water, and wild beasts to escape him. Peleus held on through every transformation until she finally submitted. The story symbolizes persistence, adaptability, and mastery over forces that are constantly changing. Why Peleus? Speculating on why the CIA initially chose the name Peleus opens an interesting window into mindset and symbolism. Peleus represents a bridge between worlds, mortal and divine. In a modern sense, that parallels the mission of the organization, bridging government intelligence with the rapidly evolving, almost untamed world of private sector technology. He is also the father of Achilles, a figure of overwhelming strategic importance in Greek myth. In that light, Peleus could symbolize the origin point of power, not the weapon itself, but the force that enables it. In-Q-Tel, likewise, doesn't deploy intelligence tools directly. It seeds and develops the technologies that make those capabilities possible. There's also the element of control over transformation. Just as Peleus subdued a shapeshifting entity, the CIA may have viewed emerging technologies, AI, data mining, cyber tools, as something fluid, unpredictable, even chaotic. The mission, then, would be to grasp, guide, and ultimately harness that transformation. The shift to In-Q-Tel. The name Peleus, while rich in meaning, was ultimately obscure. It didn't communicate purpose to a modern audience, nor did it reflect the technological identity the organization was meant to embody. So, the name evolved, first to In-Q-It, and finally to In-Q-Tel. This new name was far more deliberate and transparent in its symbolism. It references Q, the fictional inventor from the James Bond film series, the character responsible for equipping spies with advanced gadgets. In-Q-Tel essentially translates to intelligence plus Q plus technology. It reflects a shift in philosophy, From mythological symbolism to modern technological identity, from hidden meaning to strategic branding, from ancient narrative to pop culture shorthand for innovation in espionage. What In-Q-Tel became today? In-Q-Tel operates as a unique hybrid, a venture capital firm with a national security mission. It is legally independent but primarily funded through contracts with the CIA and other U.S. agencies. Its purpose is simple in concept, but powerful in execution. Identify emerging technologies, invest in the companies building them. Adapt those technologies for intelligence use. Rather than invent everything internally, the intelligence community uses In-Q-Tel to leverage innovation already happening in the private sector, a strategy that has fundamentally changed how modern intelligence operates. From early investments like Keyhole, which became Google Earth, to ongoing work in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and advanced sensing, In-Q-Tel acts as a silent partner in shaping the technological edge of U.S. intelligence. In the end, the evolution from Peleus to In-Q-Tel tells its own story. One name rooted in ancient myth, symbolic, layered, and obscure. The other grounded in modern espionage,